So we are chugging along in this season of Game of Thrones. Season 4, Episode 3, Oathkeeper has just aired. And I mean, what can I say? I just love this show. So the way this episode started off, it goes right from where we left off last week. Cersei's screaming all over Joffrey's beautiful dead corpse. And then you get to see the aftermath, like Sansa, the drunk guy, brings Sansa to a ship that at first you don't know where he's exactly taking her, and if you can really trust him, because that ship looked really ominous and really just creepy, but I guess they had to hide it in some way in the fog. And you get to see Littlefinger, and you haven't seen him since like episode 6 of last season, so that was nice. I love his character, so seeing him again was nice. And you get to figure out that he has had a part in all this, and the fact that he was using the drunk guy to help him get Sansa out of King's Landing, and then he shoots the guy, and that was like, oh, okay. I'm just kind of desensitized to death on this show. It happens so much. But yeah, I guess so they're taking Sansa back to the Eyrie now, and I can't wait to see that. And I hope we get to see more of Littlefinger this season, because last season you didn't get to see him that much, and he was gone for most of the second half of the season. And I love that character, so I want to see him more. I get the feeling he's going to be on screen for about the same amount of time he was last season. One scene that I thought was fantastic was the scene where you have Tommen and Cersei over Joffrey's dead corpse. And Tywin just pretty much comes in and calls Joffrey a terrible king in front of Cersei. And that whole scene, I feel like, just shows that Tywin's gonna be able to manipulate this kid, because he's just a kid, and he's not freaking insane like Joffrey, so I get the feeling we're gonna see some manipulation on his part through the king. And then the weird part of the scene came in, and I don't know how to feel about it, because Jaime, for the last about season and a half maybe, they've been redeeming him and showing him as a better character than how you originally saw him. And then in this scene, he just rapes Cersei next to Joffrey's corpse. I mean, that's not something a very good person would do, and no one's really good in this world, I get that, but still, rapists are like the lowest of the low, and I didn't see Jaime as that. He was sort of in the middle like most people on the show, but it's like, yeah, why did he... I don't get it. And also in King's Landing, you got a great scene between Tywin and Oberyn Martell, because you could tell just throughout that entire scene that Oberyn hates Tywin, and we've established that he hates the Lannisters, but he hasn't talked to Tywin yet, and it was just such a great scene. It was intense, and I really want to see that face-off between him and the Mountain, because apparently it's going to happen now that Oberyn is helping Tywin by sitting on the council for Tyrion's trial. Speaking of Tyrion, he's just kind of locked up in a cell now, and it seems that everybody is pretty much working against him except for his squire Podrick. Like, they're just having everybody testify against him, and he can't find anyone to actually testify for him. And then he sends Podrick away for good, just like he sent Shay away for good. I get the feeling that it's not going to be the last time he sees Podrick either. Moving away from King's Landing, we go, I guess, to Dragonstone, and with Stannis, that whole sequence was pretty interesting. It forwarded the plot a little bit, and it showed Davos sending a message over to Braavos, the Bank of Braavos, and I don't think Stannis wants that, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Davos is a really, good person. He's really one of the best morally good people on the show. And the way it's going right now, I just see Stannis eventually killing him. And I don't really want that. I don't love Davos as a character, but I mean, he doesn't have to die, but I get the feeling he might. And that scene with Arya and the Hound, once again, like how I talked about 2 weeks ago in the season premiere, how the Hound is such a character where one minute you can love him and 1 minute you can hate him. This time, you kind of pretty much hate him. He kind of justifies his actions pretty well, but still, he just kind of stole from that guy and just left him there to die pretty much, and that was pretty much a dick move, but in context it makes sense. So, see, I'm torn here about that scene because what he did made sense, but I didn't like it. And the wildlings killed a bunch of innocent people again, and they're heading north, and this thing it's building up slowly, this thing with the wildlings and the wall. I feel like we're gonna have to wait till the end of the season to actually see them fight, because big battles happen in usually like season, or episode 9, and that's probably when this is gonna happen. And the wall is it's not going good there. I mean, no one is prepared. They only have like 100 people, and Mance Rayder's bringing thousands. It's not, right as it stands, it's not a good situation for them. But it seems they're gonna go north back to Craster's Keep, to where that asshole is still sitting, and they're probably gonna kill him. I mean, I don't see that guy helping out the wall whatsoever. So they're gonna kill him, and that's how that's gonna go down. And Sam sent Gilly south, away from him. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, he did that. And the last part of this episode contained Daenerys, and she is going to Meereen, and that whole scene with the champions and having Daario throw the sword into the horse's eye and just kill that guy, that was awesome. I love that scene, and I just love how just vast this entire world looks. Like, you see that shot of her on the horse going up to Meereen, it just looks beautiful and it looks real there. And they just had that wide open area for battle, and Daenerys does another speech of hers to get slaves to help her, and they launch that stuff over into the walls, those neck braces that slaves would wear. So next week I get the feeling we're gonna see a big sequence where the slaves just revolt in Meereen and Daenerys takes over, and then who knows where she'll go next, and that should be fun. I had a great time watching this week's Game of Thrones. It was an intense episode with great dialogue sequences, but also had some good action to go along with it. Great balance there. I'm gonna give it an A. So what did you guys think of this episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? How did you feel about that scene with Jaime and Cersei on Joffrey, or next to Joffrey's dead body? I mean, just think about it. It's still weird. Write me in the comments down there and tell me what you think, and if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, I'll ship you off with Littlefinger somewhere and he'll probably kill you.